Welcome into the Crypto Bunker podcast. Today, I want to talk about Ethereum. Take a look at Bitcoin. Take a fresh look at the charts. See where we're at. As you can see, I have a potential pattern that could play out here for Ethereum that I think is likely to occur, and I think that it could present a buying opportunity, which would be interesting. All the way down at the $1,000 level. And that would be about a 48%, 49%. I mean, basically a 50% drop from here, right? Obviously. So, um, actually, it's funny because this pattern is actually, it's actually upside down of this pattern here, which I think is interesting. To me, it almost plays out. It has played out almost exactly the same. So you can see we had this big that's my cat there. We had this big this candle blow off bottoming here, which is called a doji candle. Um, excuse me. Watch out, buddy. Um, so usually when we have a candle like this that closes, it's a reversal pattern. And so we can see that same candle that formed here. Now, obviously, we didn't get exactly a doji that turned out in this area. That was a very hard top to call. There are some people who sold because they said if it ever gets back to its 2021 high, I'm going to sell it, and it did, and it made a slightly higher high. And for me, I was saying, okay, like how many times can we go up to that level? Um, and not break through. And I thought, I compared it to the gold chart, which, I said there's no such thing as a triple top. Um, and with ETH, it's almost like a quintuple top at this point. I mean, it's like, you have one, you could say two, maybe even here. You could say three, you could say four, you could say five, six, seven, eight. I mean, you could say it's an octotop. Um, it's almost an impossibility. And the fact that it couldn't make a new high here, I do think to me signals that we are going to see a test of this bottoming here. Um, we went to 48.50 here, almost the same level. We came down to under 1,000 here. Let's see if we can make a higher low, which I think is possible from this low. And I like the 1,000 level because on the monthly for Ethereum, this is basically where we close the monthly from February 2018. It's where we closed the monthly from June 22. It's where we caught support for this entire rally in November of 2022. And so, and right now we are actually catching support at the 100-month moving average. Um, actually might be the 150-month moving average. Um, yeah, let me take a look. It's the 100 SMA, so it's the 100-month moving average for this particular model and chart. So again, we talked about these candles here. I mean, even on a monthly frame, we printed on both of these as well. So not only was it a weekly print, it was a monthly print. And so that's a huge doji to look at there. We then had this little area of chop and then rally. And so I see that as this area here as the same as this area here. Now, it's the opposite side of the 200-week moving average. Not good. It's not good to use the 200-week moving average as um, as support and then to use it as um, after that to use it as resistance, right? So Just take a quick look at that. Obviously, use it as support, rallied off of it, crashed through it. Now we basically went right up to it, and then we're rejected. So yeah, looking at that, it's pretty simple. And then I think that that's kind of where we catch support. I think the traditional market will probably crash a lot as well throughout this upcoming, war that could be taking place. And yeah, so actually, I'm just going to cut it there. And, we'll see what happens. None of this is financial advice, it's just my kind of opinion, just doing this for fun. But basically, just that's kind of the level that I'm looking at and the chart pattern that I'm seeing here. So it should be interesting. Um, the 200 week on Ethereum, I don't think it's ever had a situation where it's the 20 week is going to be crossing this hardcore down. Obviously, it crossed here, but that was, kind of the bottom. This seems to be like it's going to cross at a beginning of a bigger decline. I hope, for the sake of all the younger generations out there that are holding these assets, that it doesn't crash through 1,000. I think if it makes a lower low here, maybe it makes a slightly lower low and it goes down to like 600, 70 or something. Um, and then, that's kind of where it bottoms out. And it's just reverses quickly somehow. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. And have a great day, everyone.